to go back to the depends part of it, because when we're doing thing to thing to thing, we don't have the opportunity to go deep. And I think it's important for businesses to ask themselves, what are we sacrificing by going from thing to thing to thing? So I think it depends.
The AI world is moving fast, but we make it easy. Welcome to the AI Because podcast, your shortcut to turning AI hype into real results.
Welcome to AIBecause. It's interesting. We don't get together as much as we used to get together. And so it's actually even more special than when we do. It's like what was going on this weekend. We're recording on a Monday. So anyway, it's good to see you all. And there's a lot happening always in this space. And the theme has been lately too, that it's more about going deeper into certain things, at least for me, to get a better understanding and apply what's going on instead of shiny object, shiny object, shiny object. But that's me. So, Michael, what's on your mind, sir? I know you said that things have been happening. I'd love to check in and have other people weigh in on what's happening. Because I know Greg and Steve did something in common this weekend, but what do you got going?
Oh, I'd love to hear that. Can't wait to hear yours and Steve's. I've been playing recently with something new, and I was impressed by the results. And I'm gonna come back to the shiny object because the strategy keeps changing, because that's very interesting. Like two of the new tools that has been new in the market, and I found it very interesting, and it was I wasn't expecting that result. One of them is called create.xyz, right? And when you log in, you're gonna see a different new domain. I think anything.com or something like that.
Okay.
And it's just another alternative to lovable.dev. There's also another one, and it's funny, both of them I've been playing with. They're alternative to Lovable. So create.xyz and another one called famous.ai. And each one, the interesting part is each one has a different unique features that makes it stands out from the other ones. So it's not only a shiny object, it's also, the strategy keeps changing by the week. And we are in an era where it's really maybe delegate the update to AI. So because every week there is a new solution, it's tricky really to invest into something long term now, because each company is providing a different solution with a unique feature that might be the one you need right now, or the gap that you have right now. So with that in mind, is just keep playing around. Don't be committed to one thing, I would say. Be flexible to leave something behind and switch it to another provider, because it's gonna save you a lot of time, and each company is evolving in a different speed and strategy, and each strategy might not be what you're looking for at the moment, or the project you're working on, to
Hi,
keep
Michael.
make this all simple.
I have a completely freaking different take on that, and here's why, right? Is
Okay.
that I'm going to say it depends. And here's the depends part of it, is that if you're doing something that doesn't have a huge learning curve, right? Or if you're doing
Yeah.
something that is not about connecting systems through APIs, through processes, all that stuff with your business, yeah, you have the flexibility to go, oh, this thing and this thing. Because in my brain, when you were talking, is because this industry is so saturated with what you just said, is, well, this is similar to Lovable and this is similar to that, but each of them have their own unique fill in the blank. That's the thing that they need to distinguish themselves, depending on what it is, because they're creating new shiny objects. So I'm going to go back to the depends part of it, because when we're doing thing to thing to thing, we don't have the opportunity to go deep. And I think it's important for businesses to ask themselves, what are we sacrificing by going from thing to thing to thing? So I think it depends. That maybe there's time that you're going deep, you're setting up what your stuff is, and then you got this other space that you're playing in to be aware of, but you're not picking the whole house up and moving it to a different piece of property. So
I'll
that's
explain.
the comment.
I'll
Yeah.
explain. For example, right now, if you're looking to build an online shop as an e-commerce, right? The best one would be at this point, this month, Lovable,
This month.
because really, because they just partner with Shopify, and now things can be worked easily. You don't need to go too deep, and that I'll come back to the deep. If you are looking for something that you want to be very unique with the layout and the design and the structure, Lovable might not stand out, and there might be a weak point. And the retrospective and the adjustable size, especially for mobile and integration and experience, UI, like the user experience. Then you might go into something else, like in this case, I would say Famous AI or something different. With AI now changing codes into human language prompting, you might not need to go so deep and invest time and energy into one solution. Um, you don't need that much investment of your attention as it
Mm-hmm.
used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always keep switching and changing your gears or tools according to what you need, to the knob,
Yeah.
to the size of the knob, the adjustments, and so on. That's my strategy since I've started to notice they are I'm seeing that AI is taking off the too much deepness of technicality that humans used to invest their attention, which is time and energy and learning curve and so on, because that is a bit by bit getting now replaced by just human language prompting,
Yeah.
and it becomes just the technicality behind the scene of what is this tool unique at.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
And
I
yeah,
think the
what
ability
we
for
don't
people to
need to
step
do,
in. Yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Greg.
what we don't need to do is pack up all the real estate. Like we don't have to, clean
yeah,
all the cupboards and move everything out.
yeah,
We
yep.
just need to copy and paste 3 prompts and we can go into a new platform. So it is really, really efficient and it's time saving.
Well, here's the thing, though. There is a difference, right, between getting some initial starting point, which is usually a prototype, right, and then going to production, right? Because once you go to production, you need to be able to reliably iterate, right? And the thing is about AI in general, right? AI is non-deterministic. What does that mean? It means that for a given input, i.e. a prompt, right? I am not always going to get the same output,
Mm-mm.
right? And so that makes it really, really frustrating if you already have something that you have launched, right? And then you need to just change in one particular area, right? And so the AI, there are some AI tools, vibe coding tools that do allow you to just focus on specific areas, right? And so it's like things like that that turn out to be bigger differentiators than what might seem to be at first glance. So
I
Well,
like this
I would
point.
agree. And so, oh, go ahead, Michael.
No, just because the part where he said like sometimes it's not the same result.
uh-huh.
So I like that you brought that up because
Yeah.
recently I've been doing a different strategy and I found it like really, really gets a good results, which is
Mm-hmm.
instead of doing your own prompting on those
Uh-huh.
websites or tools that are building websites or online apps,
Mm-hmm.
always build it somewhere, either on ChatGPT, that conversation from where you started your app or website.
Mm-hmm.
And that trail of thought is always your prompt creator and adjuster. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, that becomes the backbone. Any changes, you always feed it back, even what just happened. Take an image and feed it in with ChatGPT or Grok, whatever your other AI. that is very consistent, and it keeps going back to the details of what to keep
Agreed.
and what to change. That keeps it very consistent and
Well,
no chances of mess ups.
I'll
well,
tell
whoa, whoa,
you.
whoa. So I'm going to challenge you on that last frickin'
Okay.
Go
statement
ahead.
that you just
Okay.
made. Okay.
Okay.
Go
Yeah. Well,
ahead.
we can quibble with.
No, but the thing, here's the thing, that last statement that you just made is I can go and have the consistent stuff and say, I just want to update this thing, and it drops off 4 other things that it had before.
Yes.
I
So,
love it.
to Steve's point about, it does reiterate, and so I encourage people, don't assume that everything else is going to stay the same except
That's right.
that one little thing that you wanted, because that's not the truth.
So
Yeah.
that's
That I
why I do
agree.
it there. But that's why
I.
I do it there, because when you prompt it, just change this and keep everything else in your prompt each time you do a modification and so on from the
Yes.
same trail. And that
Mhm.
ChatGPT creates the same prompt again to keep consistent of what was built from
Well, I
before
know,
and
Michael, but it
changes
will
all
still
that.
change stuff. It doesn't just stay focused on that one. I've had it happen time
Right.
and time again as I'm iterating with threads that
Yeah.
I'll go back because I'm building out, a framework for curriculum or slide deck or,
Mm,
RFP responses, whatever it is. And all of a sudden it's like,
yeah.
I said, where did this go?
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for the clarification. You're right. Let me put, I'm like,
It's,
what? So,
yeah. I mean,
so
there's no doubt.
in theory that works. So what you're saying is that I agree
Yeah.
with, save your original crap that you
Mhm.
liked
Yeah.
somewhere, okay? But don't assume that just because it's in this one thread that chat's gonna only do what you ask it to do, because that's not the case.
Right. Yeah.
Did
You
you
and
do you mean chat or the Lovable, the website builder? Which
No,
one
I'm
that
talking
loses
about,
track?
you said if I'm doing code or I'm doing something, I'm
Yeah.
going to do it within an LLM, right? And then I'm going to come back
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
it's the same.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Which
saying
one?
within the thread of the LLM, it will
Mm,
hallucinate and
I
it
got
will
it.
drop stuff off. So you have to have the human in the loop and not tell yourself, oh, I've got it in here, so it's just going to change what I want it to change, because it will go pooh and do something. So just, yes, it's convenient. Yes, it's easier. Yes, you're able to do stuff you're not able to do normally. And yes, you need to check it.
Check it.
yeah,
So that's what you
it
mean. It's
will
just to keep
change.
checking.
Yes,
Mm,
it
Yeah,
will
I mean,
change. It will change.
I've gotten to the point, like, for example, I was doing something last night in
mhm.
N8N, and I built out
So
this
tell people
workflow.
what N8N is.
N8N is a workflow building tool, right?
Okay.
Mm,
And so I'd actually used ChatGPT to build out this N8N workflow. But there comes a point where ChatGPT, you got to get down into the details, because you can say, okay, like, this is not connecting to this, right? And I have this problem. Can you fix it? And they'll say, oh yeah, I can fix it, right?
Uh-huh.
And it will give you a new JSON, and it will have the same exact problem, right? Or some different problem, right? And so I've learned, like, when it's about 75% right, that's probably the time to ditch the ChatGPT and go down into the details and focus on specific parts of whatever you're working on,
Or start
right?
a new thread. Because
Yeah.
what I've
But-
noticed is it's like I'll have images that I'm working in Gemini, or Gemini, it has the problem or anything else. It'll create an image, and I said, okay, but I want da 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 on the image, and it goes, "Phew,
Mhm.
okay, it's the same freaking image that it
Yes, it does it
produced
so many
a
times.
second before," and I'm like, what is happening right now? So
Right.
you've got to be able to take it out of that insanity loop that it sends itself into. So don't poke your eyes out. Realize that it does
yeah.
make mistakes, and to your point, this is the worst it's going to be.
Right. And it's getting better. I mean, every, there are different estimates I've heard, but about every 7 months, it's doubling in, relative, it's getting
Yeah.
much better, right? It's
Oh, it's
orders
just
of
like
magnitude.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
7 months?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Like us.
I wish
I wish.
I wish
I
I
wish.
was on that same exponential curve.
Every 7 months, aren't we just dramatically improving every 7 months
I
exponentially?
Uh,
like that.
What? I
I,
mean, that's what I'm manifesting.
That's my affirmation. That's my
I mean,
affirmation.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I hallucinate sometimes. Every 7 months, I exponentially get better. I'm able to
I
have
like that.
shiny object. I mean,
I
all the
like
stuff.
it's
All the
applicable.
stuff.
It's applicable.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
It
Michael and
is.
I are feeling that. What's with you guys? So what else is
By the
happening?
way,
Huh? Go
by the
ahead.
way, that's another really cool tool since you mentioned images. One of the things I've been playing with recently, and it worked really good with when you have a small low resolution image. I found ChatGPT is the best one with this
Upscale
strategy.
it.
You give it the image and upscale it to whatever scale, and it becomes
Chat is
high
better than
resolution. This
Gemini.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I'll
I
give it a
tried
shot.
Grok, Gemini. I tried almost everyone else. ChatGPT was the only one that got me that result, and everyone else
Wow.
like messed up.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
would not have thought of chat. And I think
I was
I think it's still
surprised.
this underlying experience that we had with Dolly, right? When Dolly was the image generator for chat, that it was
Maybe.
so bad. It was so bad that
Yeah.
I just don't, and it's gotten so much better, chat has. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I'll have to give it a try because it's important to upscale, and because if you could have a smaller image that you snip or
Yeah.
whatever, and then you blow it up to the size that you need for a PowerPoint presentation or a poster or whatever it is, and you're like, this looks terrible.
Mhm.
So yeah, filling in those missing pieces. Greg, what's
So yeah,
happening in
the
the world?
Well, yeah, Sora 2 came out a couple of months ago, and they've upgraded it once since then already.
Mm.
So I think, from my understanding, there's been a lot of really cool stuff that's happened there.
Oh my God,
Um,
Sora, have you seen the video stuff? It's on social media that you look at it and you're like, God, that's real. And it's Sora. You can see the little Sora thing up in the corner,
mm,
and it's like,
Yeah.
this is scary real.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, like scary real. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
They use it as a hook for social media now. So they would create something like someone falling or a line attacking, and it looks so real as a beginning of the short video
yeah,
on
or
social
a
yeah,
media.
bear and a baby playing together. You're like,
Yeah.
how is this happening?
yeah,
Where's the
yeah,
parent?
right.
Steve,
Greg,
you wanted to
sorry
say
about
something.
that. We took your
no, actually, that kind of
Well,
is where I'm going. I mean, I've been kind of distracted, kind of preparing for the eventual weather that's coming my way. But actually, the next
uh,
2 weeks I kind of have dedicated to getting back into the video generation, and so that's why I've been kind of tweaking in or jumping in on a couple of YouTube videos about what's been happening in the image and generation space. And I have built some avatars that I'm kind of looking forward to playing with. That took a fair bit of time for me. I found out I'm a perfectionist, I guess. And so
You just
uh,
found that out?
j- just just analyzing different styles. I mean, I spent a week just trying to figure out which image style kind of spoke for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so that took quite a bit of time. Um, but I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit there. Uh, yeah, I mean, back to the vibe coding thing a little bit. I mean, we're working on different components for a new venture, so to speak, and trying to keep those components consistent is a challenge, and I
Mhm.
don't know, but I'm coming to the conclusion that something like I'm going to need to learn more about Cursor or Reddit. I'm going to really have to get into that, because those seem to be those fine tuning things that we're missing on just a regular vibe code platform like Lovable or Base 44 or something. The consistency we just don't have, and Cursor and Reddit are the tools that will give us that consistency. So
mm.
those are the two things on my calendar for the next 2 to 3 weeks that I need to investigate a whole lot more.
What's the second
But
tool, Greg?
yeah, Reddit.
Reddit?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
there's yeah,
for developing apps.
Hmm.
yeah,
I haven't heard
yeah.
of that second tool. How do you spell it?
REDDDETIT. Reddit.
So it's like the
Like the
site Reddit.
social platform?
Yeah, that's what see, I know the
No,
social
it's
platform.
no, maybe I've hang on, maybe I'm because
I was
I
gonna
haven't
say you
used
want to
it
go to
yet.
social platform for consistency.
Yeah,
I
No,
know,
yeah.
I know there's Bolt as well. Maybe you mean
Yeah,
Bolt?
Bolt, but
There,
Bolt is
Bolt?
well,
actually
both
less.
I've played with a little bit. No, there's here, I'll have to find it. Hang on, guys. Go ahead and
Yeah,
carry on. I'll just look it up.
yeah.
Steve, what do you got going?
Oh gosh. You know what?
What, really?
Well, okay, so I'll tell you what my latest thing was. Is I had AI write a 200-page book.
Cursor.
I was really
I
disappointed. I mean,
Really?
I was really disappointed with the
200 page
yes, yes, yes. I mean that the idea was a solid one, and I need to figure out. But see, this is what experimentation is that so the idea I had is I wanted to create a book on top mental models for people that people can use to work with AI, right? I love mental models. In general, they help. It's like the best analogy I've heard about mental models is like if you want to add 100, you've got 100 things. It's better to do multiplication than try addition, right? It's quicker to get to the result. That's what mental models are because they help you, hone in on dynamics of a particular thing, right? And so my
Unless
thought was
multiplication doesn't get you the answer that you need. But go ahead.
10 times 10 to get to 100,
Well,
is
2 plus
faster.
1 is 3. What are you going to multiply? Like 3 times 1, I guess, but it's not.
No. I
But
was
go
saying for
ahead.
100, my thing that I was comparing, right, was if I have 100 of something, it's usually faster break them into 10 of 10 and then do 10 times 10 rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Okay.
Anyway, and the point is that mental models are they help think about things quicker and
Shortcut.
shortcut exactly that, right? And so
Like control C,
I
control
want
V.
something. I basically didn't see anything out there, so I worked with AI to create the book that I wanted for myself, and then if I ever sold anything, okay, that's a bonus, right? And so what was produced was something I wanted to cover more than just the LLM side of things, right? So I wanted to cover, I mean, AI was used for almost a decade. Well, at least since
Longer than a
2010.
decade. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, well, it started in about 2010 to use AI or at least ML for forecasting, right? And and so I wanted to cover not just the prediction of words, right, of tokens, but also to cover some of the financial forecasting and other types of forecasting use cases. So I wanted these mental models. I wanted to be fairly comprehensive, right? And and so what I got instead was something that was way too focused on the details of the financial forecasting and not enough of the gamut of what I was looking for. Now,
So what lesson did you learn from doing that? Because I have some thoughts about
yeah,
where.
well, I had a pretty detailed prompt, and I gave it some reference materials, right? So I was using a tool called ubooks.com, right? And and so um, I'm gonna go back to it because I had outlined a sample table of contents and everything in my for the prompt, right? And and so um, it was really I'm not yet sure because I thought my initial prompt was good. I think maybe one of the takeaways is that the table of contents that it gave me, I tried to make just a couple of tweaks to the table of contents, and we were already going off path with the table of contents, but I didn't want to sit there for like 3 hours and manual. They need to make
Okay. So
faster.
you lost patience is one thing.
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah,
lost patience.
the other thing I'll that comes to mind for me is I'm going to go back to something Kane Mink has talked about is there is a weighting, WEIGHTING,
Yes.
in the prompts,
Mhm.
right? So depending on where you put the instructions, that's where the LLM is going to focus a bulk of what it pulls forward. So if your scope is too large, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just focusing on here's the theme in this section, here's the theme in this section, here's the theme in this section, then you're going to end up dropping out a lot of chunks because it's not going to pull forward everything that you want. It's
Yeah.
just it's not capable of it.
That's
So
right.
for me, it's a matter of the scope is too large. And then if you've got this detailed prompt, it's going to wait at the front end of it more so than the back end of it, unless you repeat something that it'll pull forward. So that stuff matters, right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And part of the thing is I don't think the tool is evolved. It's to that point. There's a lot of good things about the tool. I love the approach they take. Basically, what you do is you give it this top prompt. It can be fairly long, right? But you can't go back and like say give it one section at a time. You really, I don't think so. But actually, maybe
That's an
there's a way in
assumption
this
that
long
you
prompt,
have. Yeah.
right? Right? Maybe there's a way in this long prompt
Well, I'm
beyond
going to
just
go back to Mind Valley with, is it Dominic? Dominic?
No,
Yes.
no,
Where
it
he
was
had us do books.
Adrian.
Dominic had us do the book, and you wrote different chunks of the book, and you did
Andre,
it. No, it wasn't Andre.
Andre,
No,
when
it
you're doing
wasn't
the
Andre.
chunking,
It was Andre did
chunking.
coding. It was
Mm.
Dominic. He was social media influencer. So he's the one that
Okay.
images the book and stuff. And so
yeah.
you did a chapter at a time. And then you went back through and you said, okay, I'm going to go back here. Now I'm going to do chapter 2. And now I'm going to do chapter 3. But you didn't go write the 8
Right, and do the
chapters.
whole thing, right?
No,
Right.
because it gets lost in
Yeah.
itself and forgets it. So I think it's some of those things to pay attention when you
Yeah.
get frustrated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Realize just like, I mean, are you going to give someone goes, I'm going to the grocery store and you're going, okay, I'd like this. And oh, yeah, pick up this. And oh, this too. And oh, yeah, this thing over here. But no one writes it down.
Mm-hmm.
They're just mentally putting it in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what are you walking off with? The last thing that someone told you about? So
Right,
I think it's
right.
important to be aware of when we're prompting this stuff. And if we're not getting the results, narrow your scope and frickin' start in a different thread so that you don't
Right.
muddy the waters. Because to your point, if you end up on some other path, it's harder / nearly impossible to come back and start again because it's
Well,
learned from the first stuff. Michael.
But also you can ask ChatGPT before starting to do a few things. First, the structure, the chapters, the topics we're going to be
Oh, I
talking
agree.
about.
yeah.
If I want to do it and like prompt it with that, if we're gonna do it in portions, how many portions are gonna be needed? Because and I'm gonna give you a go ahead each time to continue with the next portion. Once you start with that structure, because with the structure you can see it and review it before you start working on it. And it's funny you mentioned that, Steve. 2 days ago, I just did the same thing because I was doing a quiz that I came across online, which I found that I'm a trust a flow truster. So it was very interesting. And
What does that mean?
when I got the explanation of a flow truster, which is someone who is good with manifestation and everything, but always have fears around continuancy or consistency or continuing to
Sustainability?
sustaining that abundance, the
Okay.
overflow. He
Okay.
believes in the flow and believes in it, but the overflow and that consistency and being continuous is something that needs to be worked on. And they call it the flow truster. And I wanted to do a course and I wanted to learn more what would be a build up on that. And I created that book. And I asked how many chapters and how you're gonna be and what are the topics that because I'm coming across that these are the concepts of it, but I don't know the details and so on. And I built it all around that. And it was like about 50 pages. It's just 2 days ago. I did exactly what you were just talking about but on more like a belief and not mental is more belief. What could be beliefs, hidden beliefs inside that needs to be worked on. And the book would help with either work. It would be a component of many things.
Right.
part of a workshop as well and stuff that I will be doing on my own. So it's more for me.
Mhm.
And I love the strategy, but the structure. I would say the best thing is start with the structure, because if you don't like it or is not aligning, again, what you said, Michelle, earlier is review the prompt, because if there's hallucinations, you're gonna be reading that book.
Mhm. Yeah, right.
Build your own learning stuff. Build your
And
own
it's
learning
working
stuff.
on your belief. So if there's hallucinations, it's working on beliefs,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
It's not
just
gonna be that.
for me more recently, it's going deeper with different tools for my internal processes that I have and then supporting clients as well. And so the opposite of shiny, what are these new things? Taking tools that we already have, and going deeper with them, because to your point, to all your point is it's things are iterating all the time. And so one of the things could be is if you did something a week ago, 6 months ago, whatever it was, and it didn't work, try it again.
Mhm.
Because it's rapid fire with the improvements in what we're able to do. And I think with the whole vibe coding, or even the ability just to chat, like talk to LLMs, um, you can brainstorm and thought partner with them to say what's out there, what's currently out on the
Mhm.
market. This is what the problem that I have in front of me, and get some feedback, and then challenge that thinking. Because I'll get stuff back when I'll use chat as a thought partner, and I'm going to go, but what else is out there? What else is going on? And then more stuff will surface. I just think there's go deeper. That would be my theme. Go deeper with what you have, and let's not, new, because we
Well,
skim the surface so much that I don't think we get the value, the
at the end of
potential
the
that's out there.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like the main, like at least not, probably at least 85% of the time I'm using AI, I'm trying to solve a specific problem, right? And so that's what I care about. I don't really care about what the AI tool I'm using. What I just want something that solves my problem, right? Fully. And and so yeah, and so
That's one side of you, Steve. The other
yeah.
side is a betaling, and you're testing
But that's
everything
but
for
that but you know
absolute.
what? But that actually is it's not too far off from the same thing, because I
Mhm.
want to understand what is out there so that I can solve problems better, because
Mhm.
it opens my eyes to expand, range of
What's
possibility.
possible.
Yeah, absolutely, to
So
what's
the
possible.
caution around all this stuff, right? As we talk about, I went here and researched this, and I did this, and I wrote this, and I did that. It's a time suck.
Oh,
So I think the message is be very, very intentional
it can be.
about what you're spending your time on,
Hmm.
and be disciplined about how much time. Set an alarm.
Yeah,
Go in and go, I'm going to do this for 45 minutes. I'm going to do this for 60 minutes, and set a freaking timer.
yeah. Well,
Because otherwise your whole afternoon is gone and you're like, I've still got this other stuff I have to do.
I don't even waste my time, unless I'm doing something like, like a review of some sort. I don't even waste my time doing anything with a tool, unless, I mean, obviously, yeah, the known quantities. I'm not talking about the known quantities of Chat, GPT, Google Gemini,
You
and
have a lot of exclusions to that statement you just made, by the
well,
way.
I mean, common sense. But what I'm saying is that I go to Gemini Deep Research, and I tell it to do a competitive analysis of a given
Yeah.
tool. And I learned so much by doing from that competitive analysis that helps me see, what are the weak points or what people are saying
Yeah.
about the tool. It goes through the reviews and everything. So I mean, that's for me the most efficient way to start looking at a new product, a new
Mhm.
application, or a new product.
So
I like.
the asterisk that I'll say is deep research, you don't need it for every single thing. I'm just letting people know that, right?
Well,
The
I know, and
idea.
this, by the way, this is Mother Earth Michelle, because She doesn't
I,
like
Oh my God.
all the electricity that gets used from
Well,
the.
it's that. And the other part of it is we don't need to spend all that
Mm.
time on deep research when it's like, boom, you just need to ask a simple little question.
Agree with that totally.
Michael,
but
as we wrap
for
up,
some,
sir, what's on your mind?
sure. I really like the idea of Steve like delegating a time waster for deep research. Something like, especially if you have a certain project and you can quickly delegate that into an AI, especially with the deep research where I'm working on this. I need a solution or a tool that would be good on integration. So if I'm gonna integrate with a database, maybe Airtable, or I want to be specific with
Mhm.
something. If I want it to be good on a user experience. I want to, and so on, and specify my needs and let it do the research instead of me going experimenting everything. And that's I like because it's gonna give me right away instead of just because I could be still very loyal to one solution, but it doesn't have it. After I've done so much work in it,
Mhm.
the integration is never gonna work that way. And I have been in that position before,
Mhm.
and I felt like I've wasted a lot of time. I should have
Yeah,
done
pull
better
pull
research.
cost into that comparison, which means you're going to have some idea of the number of transactions, instances, whatever you call it, but pull that in so that you're not going blind, right? Because it would be like going in and going, okay, I want the best car for drivability, for safety, for everything, and then it comes back with, I don't know, Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, whatever, and you've
Yeah.
got a Volkswagen Bug budget, right? So pull in that balancing measure, which is going to be cost, so that you're looking in the space that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
you
dig
everything.
deep,
Yeah, go ahead.
dig deeper into the question. The more detailed the question and the more deeper the question, what do I really need? What is needed? I think might be a start. So that way it'll help with a get. It's like questioning the prompt before the result because it's all in the prompt or
Mhm.
in what is needed. That's my
Mhm.
Yeah.
takeaway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and challenge your limiting beliefs and assumptions that oh,
Yes,
it's not possible, it can't happen. Don't just go, you know
definitely.
what? This is what I want.
Yeah, that's gonna
I'm
happen no
finger
matter
queen
what.
for a
but
day.
I
I
mean,
have a magic wand. What's possible?
but you know the thing is that it also it's always important to keep separate the problem and the solution, right? And so don't if when you're clear on the problem, you know you want to be flexible on the solution as long as it fully solves the problem and not go too far down one particular solution. You know until yeah.
Yeah, and so what I'll say is lead with the problem, be clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lead with the solution and reverse engineer your way into it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right. I appreciate this time, gentlemen, and have a great week, 2 weeks, whatever. I mean, and the US time has changed. I think it's Canada too. Didn't you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually glad not to be on daylight savings time again. I don't know if there's too many other people. I'm glad, right? That we're back to that. And it's okay that it gets dark earlier and all that stuff. It's nice not to have to do the math with a bunch of stuff. So I appreciate not being in daylight savings time anymore. And I'm probably the only human on the planet that feels that way. Anyway, it's great to see you all. And until next time, this is
Always.
guys.
Great.
Like, share, subscribe. Let us know topics. What are you doing? What are you having fun with? What are you having challenges with? Did you write a 200-page book that you just don't like? Until next time. Bye.
And please comment if there's anything that you have your own opinion on anything that we have talked about.
I
That would be
will.
great to.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Bye,
know
guys.
that. We're talking about everyone else.
Yes.
We-
Whoever is gonna be watching this.
From cloud to code or everywhere. Innovation driving, we're breaking ground. With AI tools that's turning around. AIBecause, we're powering your moves. Tech that's here for good, bringing all the moves.